Ghost Racing Network now has merch. Go to grnmerch.com to browse our selections from stickers to custom-made by-request hoodies and shirts. If you've ever wanted to support Ghost Racing Network outside of YouTube, here's your chance. Ghost Racing Network, for the scary side of iRacing. Welcome to Las Vegas Motor Speedway here for the Sim Wrap Market Racecult race here today. No sponsor for name for the race, so that's what we'll call it, I guess. Drivers are currently in their qualifying though, so they haven't had that done quite just yet. Might be able to see some of that right there on the left side of the screen. Still doing it as always. I do like to see kind of some things that happen during qualifying. It's the Gen 6 cars here today, so this is a draft heavy track, so a lot of it will be flat out most of the time, and we have, looks like 10 drivers here. Wesley, Michael, Rod, Scott, Jack, Charlie, Matt, Patrick, Justin, and Bill. I almost want to keep saying 555, but his number is 556. The 555 is from, can't even think of it. What was I going to say? Colin McRae, that's who it is. Who runs this? I might ask him. Actually, it may be Dawson who, never mind. Yeah, that's it. That's who it is. Don't know why that popped up on my suggested there, but they have just gotten done with their qualifying. I was looking at somebody who does streaming for somebody. I'll take them. So first is Wesley Holland, second, Michael Miltfeld, third, Rod Midden, fourth, Scott Patton, fifth, Jack Watts, sixth, Charlie Widener, seventh, Matt Rodilioso, eighth, Patrick Blundell, ninth, Justin Blackburn, and 10th, Bill Paradise. And tell you what, I've slept the whole entire day, so my brain feels like it's mush right now. I don't know why. That's what happens when you stay up watching anime until 12, which isn't even that long. I slept for so long today. It was ridiculous. But 90 laps for your day. So probably going to split it down the middle if I had to guess on their pit stops. Raise the boost up just a little bit so volume won't be as low as it normally is. And we'll also pull up trading paint so I can give them a paint refresh when they load. And speaking of trading paints, when does my subscription renew on this? I actually have no idea. The reason I say that is because I actually don't know. January 9th, that's when it is. I was going to say I have Trading Paints Pro just so I can run certain paint schemes. But I will give them all paint refresh right now, so if their paints are different, they'll pop back in. It's another Jeff Gordon inspired paint scheme. I think I've ran one similar to that also before. I was a huge Jeff Gordon fan growing up. That's all I watched was Jeff Gordon. Got to see him win twice, and both times were at Martinsville. I was there for his last win. I will never forget that. That was probably the best race I ever saw. And I mean, but the whole crowd was cheering for him too. Won the race, which was just amazing. Never forget when Kinsley took out Logano. That was probably the best moment I've ever saw in any sports. Absolutely awesome. See, they're getting close to each other. I don't know if he realizes he's down there. They're just messing with each other. I have saw people get turned before the race even starts, so definitely want to be careful on that. And speaking of that, what track have they switched to now for iRacing this week? I might need to check that here. A pace car pulls off Dover, and Starter will have the flag in his hand as green flag is in the air. We are back, or we are underway here. See, these guys will literally be just completely flat out here, and they have ran, let's see what they're running right now, 38, maybe 36, this lap maybe 30, actually 30 flat right there. Picking up some speed. This is a draft heavy track, like I said. Pretty much all the Gen 6s were so draft heavy, it was ridiculous. If you got out of the draft for just a second, you were going to go back. You had to make sure that you were going to have a big run on somebody. I do like how they look, but I did not like how they were so aero dependent. That's one thing I like about the next gens. Don't like the gearbox, though. Wish they would keep the 4-speed gearbox. Who is that sponsor on that 77? I'm actually curious. Who is that? That is something Magic, I think. I could see it. I literally cannot see it because I've got motion blur on. Multi-league, that's what it is. I could not read the name of that. He's got a lead now. You see the 10. Sorry, the 155 in the Minion paint scheme back there. It seems like that's a rival fall in line behind him. He actually goes a little bit high. The 24 Matt Rodilioso stuck in that middle lane. He's going to get a shove here from the 41 arrow-wise. That 10's going to have to cut the track. You can go down below the apron if you want to. This really upsets the car if you don't do it right. See that 92, he's looking up under, he finally got up under the 24 there again. One thing too is it's so aero heavy. If you get a side draft, I mean, you literally slow down at least 5 miles an hour. It is ridiculous. The 10 of Justin Blackburn, he's up under the 41, but he's not really getting much help. The 77 looks like he was looking inside for a little bit, thought about twice. He's gonna get a little bit high, has to come down. 10 almost doesn't realize the 77's there. He does the last second. I don't think he bailed out the throttle. I think he just gave him more room. He would have came down, he was gonna get turned pretty easily there. But Milkfeld, he's gonna try to get the lead back after he just lost it. He's gonna hit the apron there for a little bit. I think he's gonna Off the bottom. No, he looks like he comes up there fine. Pretty decently. Rod, he's going to be able to choose who he wants to go with here. For Rod, if he decides to go down to the bottom, that's going to give that 155 a big run, but he can also kind of mess with these two guys. Give one an indirect arrow shove, the other one an indirect arrow shove also, and that'll get them both up there, keep them side by side. Done that a couple of times just to keep guys right there, and I might get stuck behind them, but it works better than people think, actually, I believe in my mind. That 155 actually bails out. Rod's trying to get to the outside. Won't be able to. Might pull a crossover here. Not going to go on the apron. He's going to stay up on the track. To the 10 and the 24. I almost make contact. I was expecting to see that 10 get tight and really drift up the track into the 24. The 95, I think he thought about going to the bottom, but he realized it's 11 laps in. We don't need to be going 3 wide at the moment. 77 has that 24 on the outside of him currently. Is that the Dawson that we have? .95 and the 10 still going to be fighting right here just a little bit. The 24, I don't know if you realized that 77 was there. If he would have came up a little bit more, he's going to hit the apron. It's going to get him up the track just a little bit. Nah, surprisingly doesn't. Keeps that car down on the bottom instead. .24 and the 95 going to battle it out a little bit. 24 is looking at the 77 ahead of him. Rod, however, is catching Scott. The only thing with these cars is that they were so close, so the only real difference that you can see is when the tires wear. That's when you see can save tires the most, because that's what these cars, in the long run, it comes down to that. That's the truth. It just comes down to that. Watching these guys back here a little bit, kind of just jockey for position. Nobody's really made a super aggressive move yet. Now Rod's going to try to get the lead here, but Scott's just going to stay on that outside. Not really hold Rod down there. He's going to give him a lot of room to go up if he needs to. Rod will try to pull side by side. He won't be able to. He'll have to fall back in line. 155 is going to be the one odd man out instead. He'll duck out, and he'll actually go back in line now. Still going to try to get that position, but Scott, if he just stays up high, I don't think Rod can really do anything. Now, the 155 is going to go with Rod. They're going to give him a shove by, most likely. Scott's going to stay pretty even on the outside. See if he goes in aggressive on Rod. It looks like he doesn't. He doesn't hang on his door. He does get a pretty good run through the corner, though, and he'll be able to maybe pull away from Rod here. It looks like he will. Rod will fall back in line. Bill looks like he's lost the draft pretty much. Him and the 69 are battling. we're positioned back here. There's really a group of, this is really the top 8 right now, and then 9th and 10th are back. They're doing their own little thing at the moment. Rod's still going to try to get it. Scott's not been hard to pass, but he's just going to get a little bit closer there on him. Rod, he just can't get the run that he needs, and he has to now fight with the 41 for this position. Gotta be careful he doesn't lose that one either. He's going to barely slide up in front of that 41. That 41 might have actually tried to be going around him there. He kind of gave him a little bit of a shot in the rear. So I'll not be surprised to see if he was a little bit mad about that. 155. Looks like he actually went from out 3rd to, what, 6th now. 95 with Charlie Widener back here. We're looking at him trying to run the high line. If that's a great idea to run up that high. Really hurts the right front tires. .41 is actually Wesley this race. Sorry, that's because I was so confused. I just looked there at the timing. We don't have a 41. We have a 4. Rod's going to try to get position from Scott. Won't be able to pull side by side with him into the corner, so Scott could go down to the bottom and block it. Looks like he kind of will, kind of won't at the same time. The 4 of Wesley's going to get to the back bumper, maybe give Scott a little bit of a shot getting in there. I think he did. Either he had a huge run and just misjudged it, or Scott was just committed to staying there. I'm not completely sure. See, Wesley, he's going to maybe get the lead here from Scott. Scott's going to try to hang on to that quarter panel. He's got enough of it. I don't think Wesley can clear him quite just yet. No, he will not be able to either. Get side by side again down in the corner. These two are probably foot to the floor right now. Maybe a little bit of lifting just for Scott to try to get it rotated. Wesley might be lifting also a little bit because he's on the bottom line. We expect to hear a little bit more of a lift soon from either of them. Wesley gets a little bit tight there. Going to burn up that right front, but that 155 is going to stay with him and shove him. Try to get him going all the way up to that corner. Scott's been passed, but he's going to fight back out on the outside. Is he going to be clear off the corner? He's actually close enough to him to kind of keep a little bit of a side draft. Scott's going to be able to hold him off. Two back here. Now Wesley's actually dropped 2 positions now. Widener's not coming up to the pack. Like Scott's just been difficult to pass. He's not doing anything wrong. He's just staying right there where guys want to be running. He's just not letting them get away. Or he's not letting them get around him. Not blocking, not doing anything. He's just staying high line. He's just riding there. Wesley's going to get up on that high line. He actually just, wow, he put a little bit wide. I think he realizes that too. Rear tires might have been stepping out. Let's see, are they still flat out here at the moment? He is not. Oh, wait, pit stops here. Now let's see if they're flat out. They're not. But we have pit stops happening. So Scott was the first one down. Looks like he's bringing kind of a lot of other people with him. After he pitted, they realized, hey, we got to pit now. He's off and away. His stop was 14 seconds. It's 4 tires and fuel. So it looks like they're going to be doing 2, maybe 1 pit stop, actually, is what they could be doing. Wesley, Charlie, and Michael still need to pit. They might, see, if you go lap 45, then I know you can make it to the end. I'm not sure what they're going to do completely, though. Will they pit right now? No, they're going to stay out here a little bit longer. Wesley's still trying to get the lead. Wesley's been doing good. He's had a hard time getting around people. One thing with these cars that I didn't like that I said, I didn't enjoy it very much. It's very hard to pass with them. Guys are still not going to come down pit road. So they're running 31-second laps. See what these guys on new tires will run after they get up to speed fully. Only a second and fall off as they're trying to come down pit road. And I think Charlie missed it. He was trying to get down pit road. He's going to have to get back going now. Yeah, he definitely tried to get back down there. He missed it. I've had that happen a couple of times. Happens to the best of us. You come in hot, really hot, and you're just like, oh gosh, I'm not going to make it. See, he'll get in here clean this time by. So that will give the lead now to Scott Patton, but he has a 4-second lead. Wow. He has a really big lead. No, I cannot believe it's that big right now. Jesus Christ. I was going to think maybe it's like, maybe a little bit, but I mean, that is a lot. The 24, he goes up high. He's going to try to catch Scott. He needs the help from... He's got some damage. He got ran over. I can see right below the Chevy symbol, he's got some damage. I can actually probably get a better view of it. He's lucky. It's actually looks like it's... Oh, no, it's a spoiler, too. So he's going to need that pushed out eventually at one point. They do get a caution, they'll definitely be fixing that because that's just damage that's just going to hurt you. Cars are so aero sensitive. It's ridiculous. Matt, he's got 3 people with him. He's got Rod and Jack. And Justin is back here with Michael. And Michael stayed out a little bit longer. Still in the 30s. Patrick is 31 right now. He's also all alone, so he doesn't have any help. Now these guys are 38 laps into the race, so we will take our first commercial break, however. Ghost Racing Network now has merch. Go to grnmerch.com to browse our selections from stickers to custom-made by request hoodies and shirts. If you've ever wanted to support Ghost Racing Network outside of YouTube, here's your chance. Ghost Racing Network, for the scary side of iRacing. You see, we are back here, lap 44 of 90 currently. Scott has a huge lead, but is slowly getting caught by Matt, Rod, and Jack here ever so slightly. They're running about a tenth faster each lap. I think half of that may be because they're all kind of drafting off each other, and Matt doesn't, or sorry, not Matt, Scott doesn't have anybody to do that with. But they are gaining. It's going to take them a little bit to do it. Ooh, excuse me. As I forgot, that's what that is. Leave that. Goes to something else. Let's see. How can these guys go about this? Yeah, they're definitely catching. This is going to help them a lot more, too. Catching Blundell right here. Not a bad spot, so he'll just easily be passed. Actually, kind of gives himself up there. This dude's just weird. 95, he's definitely, I think he's pretty much out of it. Yeah, he's 3 seconds behind. I know him missing, getting on pit road really hurt him. He does 25% right front damage. Look, I can see that tire pointing out. I know he has rear damage. No, he doesn't. So he doesn't have tire damage. I could have swore it looked like I could see his tire going down the front stretch, coming out the car. I mean, these cars are stanced, so you're going to see it a little bit, but you can tell when they have right. I think the 69 has some. Yeah, I think the 69 does, because I can see his tire a little bit more than normal. Now, one thing that's going to be hard here is even if you catch Scott here, can you pass him? Because he's been so hard to pass. I mean, it's been ridiculous. It's not been easy for him to do that. I don't know if you can get around Scott, though. They're starting to distance themselves out now. Their 4 has caught them 155 again. Lap times now, Scott's picked up a little bit. I don't know if that's just because Matt could have caught some bad traffic or just got off the corner wrong. He was about a tenth slower that lap. Actually, they were saying this lap Matt was 100th faster. He just hit the apron there and bottomed out. Shot off the track a little bit. So the 155 is trying to get around the 77. You can kind of just get his nose up under there. He'll probably go right by him. Catching him again, I mean, it's just so slow of a catch right now. 133, 32, 132, 131, 130 is what it should be when they enter the corner. We'll stretch out a little bit after that again. But we'll do 2 laps on board here with these guys since we have 10 drivers. So we'll start with Scott here. So we'll do... Yeah, we'll do 2. Actually, we're going to stop that right now. They have pit stops happening again. Matt Wildoso comes down. Rod, Wesley, and Jack are all down pit road. So Scott has to come back in. He needs to come in this lap. He's going to have a chance at winning this race. I mean, he's leading right now, but he needs to come in. And it looks like he is slowing down to get down to pit road speed. He needs to get down right now. He is coming in hot, though. He gets down to 2 speed, also gets down to 51. That's a good pit entry there. Someone coming behind him. Can't see who that is. That's Charlie Widener. He makes it down pit road speed, but he spins. Locks it down, gets back going. And he's going to be hurting on that pit road entry. It's going to give the lead to Miltfelt, though. The question is, where does Scott merge back onto the track? He's off and away now, so let's see where he comes out. He's going to merge on track now here, so he's going to merge behind the 69. And he'll merge in front of Matt here. Matt's catching him, though, so he's going to get closer than what he was before, I believe. I think he's just a little bit closer. Might have kept the same distance between each other. 225 is what it's selling for. The 155 comes down pit road now. Gives Scott the lead back, so... So Miltfelt, he'll come out. Evidently a little bit further back than what he was. Give the lead back to Scott. Yes, Rod is definitely, yeah. Rodilioso is definitely a lot closer than what he was. Only got a 1 lap older tires. I'm going to say as that rear end step out on him. Scott's going to kind of somewhat go down to the bottom to block, but Matt's going to get a big run down here now. Be careful. Do you block aggressively here, or do you just kind of stay tucked in line? What do you do? Ooh, oh my gosh, he hit the bump. And you saw it bottom out, and that car just... He overcorrected, or he corrected that pretty fast. Lucky that he didn't overcorrect it. He was really aggressive with that wheel turning it. I thought that was going to end up bad. This kind of shows you how hard he's pushing. Just evidently pretty hard right there. Just trying to get, if he can, I think if he can get, honestly, maybe to the outside of Scott, that's going to be the best chance for him, because he needs to find a way to get there. 92 of Rod here might get up under the 24. It looks like he will. The 24 gives him room also. Actually runs it wider than what I thought he would. Could honestly run a little bit lower there. It might not be a bad idea to really just let him get by. And actually, yeah, he does that too. Draft off of him, maybe shove him up there, let him try to pass him, or try to pass Scott. Because Scott's just so hard to pass right now. He's not doing anything wrong. He's just difficult. We'll do one lap now since these guys are within 25 laps to go. We didn't get to that earlier. cut that off pretty quickly because it said Wesley Holland crashed. We're going to go back and look really quickly. As he looks like he just pulls over and actually stops. We'll go back live. I need to still fix this logo. I don't know why it's the size like this. Still having a hard time getting around Scott. These two are, and then Scott's actually starting to pull away. It's that one lap pressure tires, and this car is such a big difference. It's ridiculous. They're not running bad lap times either. They're just slowly falling out of contact with them. Yeah, what it is, gotten cold in Virginia. It's supposed to be like 31 degrees at night. I kind of feel it in my room, but we have the heat on. I am a person who loves the cold. Any time of the year that it gets cold, I love it. Don't know why, I just do. Longer count. Scott here, he's been up front. He had to definitely fight a little bit to keep the lead. And after that, they kind of just couldn't get around him really. He's just hard to get around. Super, super hard to get around. Now Rod's actually leaving Matt here a little bit. I just don't know if Rod can really do much. But Scott qualified. He qualified 4th also. He's gained 3 positions. Hold on to the lead, but race isn't over, and we could have a caution come out and changes absolutely everything. Rod's losing some time also to Scott here, so don't have too much of a hope for them. Multi-league must be another league that he runs. That's why it must be on his car. It's the only thing that I can think of that would make sense for him. Five more here in Rod. He's falling tense. He's running, I mean, almost the exact same time, so they're going to be catching the 69 here, so this could change up a little bit. Oh, these guys approach just a tad if they're not careful. Matt could maybe try here. I mean, the only thing I can think of is if 6'9's getting way out of the way here. You can see him well out of the racing line. He's going to have to wait probably another corner here to actually be a big factor. 46 could get tight. He looks like he will a little bit too. Wash up. That 6'9 should probably stay low wherever the leader asks him to stay. He should stay there. He's going to stay high. Give the 46 a good entry into the corner. 6'9's not going to give it. No, he will get up now. Looks like he actually puts himself in the wall. That's a tight car there, and also just probably pushing a little bit too much. There'll be one more lap here for Scott Patton. Rod Mitten trying to chase him down, but he's going to fall too short here at the end. Scott will go through 3 and 4 here. Just trying to check the stream when they took the white flag. And Scott Patton will take home the race win here today. Rod Mitten second, Matt Rodilioso third. Go ahead and get this Discord set up. Watch Scott do his burnout here. Pull up the finishing results now. Since I think he's done with his burnout, we'll go to a blimp static view. He's not going to get so motion sick here. And we'll bring in the third place driver, Matt Rodilioso. Grab him here. Hey, Matt, this is Bryson Booth. Got a copy, man?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, so you come home third here. Fall a little bit short, but, how did the race go for you overall? Because it seems like you were up there competing for the lead at one point.
Yeah, especially on that last run, we got to Scott. I just kind of burned my stuff up, just trying to get around him a little too quick. And after that, I was kind of done. But it was a pretty good race overall. Needed a little more tire at the end. Once I heated my stuff up, it was all over. So, but pretty good race. Like I said, me and Rod ran Scott down during that second run, and then finished it up after the second pit stop. Just really didn't have anything for him. It's just so much track position. Once he was out front, it's just hard to pass once you get in that air bubble behind somebody. So the air, the draft helps you get to him, and then once you get close to him, it's kind of not much you can do.
I was gonna say, so how are these cars different, than the ones that y'all have drove this season? Because I know one thing is the downforce. These cars are so aero reliant, but how much of a factor is that in these cars?
At a mile and a half like this, it's everything. Just because, like I said, going into the corner, if you're behind someone, you just have no air on the front, so the car just wants to push. You got to back off a little bit more and give up time to the guy in front of you if you're really close. and then just try to get back into it sooner than he can, or get a better run off, and then use the draft down the next straight to catch back up. Um, that's really all I was trying to do behind Rod. I was just trying to stay close to him just to keep him closer to Scott. Just trying to manage that. But like I said, once you start pushing into the corner like that, you just heat the front tires up so much. It's just hard to get them back, once you lose them.
All right, man. Well, before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank? Any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
Yes, as always, just shout out to Simrat Market for being a premier partner here, sponsoring the league. Super big shout out to them. Shout out to teammates Rod as per usual, and Wes here tonight, and Pat Blundell. Love racing with these guys and everyone else in the league. It's always fun to race with everybody here. So pretty good night overall, and thanks to you for doing the broadcast also.
All right, man. Well, I'll let you go. Good third place finish tonight, though, man.
Thanks, man. You have a good one.
It's Matt Verdilioso. We will bring in the second place driver in Rod Bitton. Hey, Rod, this is Bryce in the booth. You got a copy, man?
Hey Bryce, what's going on?
And so you come home second, fall just a little bit short there, but how did the race go for you overall, though? Because it seems like you guys were in a big pack there to start the race, and then it kind of got sorted out as it went on.
Yeah, definitely, Bryce. Kind of as we expected. We were knowing it was going to be a little bit of pack racing probably until the first pit stop, and then we have different pit cycles, and guys will get spread out, and then we'll kind of break that draft. But we were actually able to stay together, me and Matt there, and knew we had to work together to try to have a chance at Scott. So we were able to catch him on that second run a bit, and then last pit stop we were finally in his wake, and it seemed these cars you could really suck up to somebody, and then once you get there, kind of like an arrow wall, and it was just really hard to pass. Scott was running a great race too, so that added on top. Just not really much I felt like we could do. Maybe we're a little faster towards the end, but once you hit that arrow wall, it just seemed like not much we could do.
And so were tires a big difference here? Because it seems like you all pretty much pitted. No, as soon as somebody else pit, the other person came in also.
Yeah, there was about a second fall off. Definitely less tire wear than last week at Kansas. I know they're similar tracks, but definitely seemed like you could be more aggressive throughout the run. Everybody seemed to kind of wear a little bit evenly. Some guys maybe wear it a little bit more than others, but yeah, overall just wanted to worry about tires, but also just make sure you stay in the draft with this package on the 1.5s.
All right, man. Well, before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank? Any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream tonight?
Yeah, just thanks to the team. Me and Matt kind of worked together there. Felt like we used a little bit of Super Speedway strategy, which was nice. And then just thanks to our title sponsor, Simrat Market, coming on board with the series. As always, they're greatly appreciated. Had their name on the Gen 6 today. They don't carry Gen 6 cars, but still happy to carry their name on the hood. You can find current Gen 7, any kind of Gen 4, 87, all kind of NASCAR stock cars on their website for different templates to paint up and make them your own.
All right, man. Well, I will let you go. A good second place finish tonight, though, man.
Yeah, thank you, Bryce.
Rod Mitten, the second place driver. We will bring in the race winner and Scott Patton. Hey, Scott, this is Bryce in the booth. Got a copy, man?
Hey, Bryce, I got you, brother.
And so you come home with the race win. How did it go for you overall? Because it seems like you had to fight there to keep the lead at one point because those guys were all around you, and you just stayed just close enough to where you could pull them right back to you.
Yeah, that was a wrestling match for sure. That whole first run there, 30 laps, whatever it was, 28 laps, I guess, before we pitted. Yeah, that was a wrestling match just to keep them behind me. But I knew that this track, the way it runs, as you could probably see, it's all track position. It's all who's out in front. And then unless the guy makes a mistake, you're going to have a real hard time at passing him. So it was just managing that gap. And I know we were aggressive at times. I was talking to the guys down there. But I was surprised that they weren't more aggressive than they were trying to get by me, knowing that it was so track position dependent. So, which is also what led us to short pit that first stint by a couple laps, just because I knew the track position was so critical. It didn't matter if you had 5 laps fresher tires. If you were right on the guy's bumper, you weren't going to get by him. So I knew I had to short pit to maintain that gap and put the pressure on them to continue to try to pass me for the rest of the race, and it kind of panned out that way. So.
And so, how were tires a big difference, or were they pretty much not here? Because it seems like you all kept pitting relatively close around each other when somebody did come in.
Yeah, the pit window was pretty well determined by the fuel. I think we could go maybe 35 laps or so. With it being a 90-lap race, break it up into thirds. It's basically 30 laps each, give or take. So there wasn't a whole ton to be done with pit strategy other than trying to short pit. Maybe by a lap or two. The tire wear was pretty substantial. I feel like right around lap 14, 12 to like 15 in the run, somewhere in there, the car would just kind of hit a wall, especially in turn 3. And if you weren't on top of it, the tires just kind of gave out, and that's when you'd have to start lifting for the rest of the run. So I could kind of see on the last run when those guys started to catch me, I knew they had at least one lap older tires than I had, and I could use that to my advantage because they kind of hit that wall where they had to start lifting, and that's when they went back another second or two to the end of the run. So yeah, it's just things to be aware of there, that you have to kind of watch your line and play a little defense too when they got close, and then play the tire conservation game when we had enough distance to run the higher line, so I wouldn't burn my stuff up. Little cat and mouse game, chess match, but it was fun.
All right, man. Well, before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank? Any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
Sure, we got SimWrap Macket on the hood again this week. We changed over the colors here and the scheme, so the 46 Chevy ZL1 with SimWrap Macket. Check them out if you haven't already, simwrapmarket.com. I just saw some stuff that he posted today or yesterday. He's working with a guy named Neonism, and I've purchased some stuff from him in the past years, and I didn't realize until recently that they're apparently working together, and he's putting his stuff on the SimWrap Market website. So he does a ton of stuff with metallic textures and that sort of thing. He does a really, really nice detailed job, quality work. So check him out. I think, I'm not sure if they're still having a sale. I know they were for the weekend. I want to say 20% off. Don't quote me on that, but there was a code there for some savings. So check them out at simwrapmarket.com. Appreciate their support as well as the head sponsor for the league and all the guys that put on this series. Great job.
All right, man. Well, I will let you go. Good job tonight here, man.
Appreciate it, Bryce. Appreciate all the work that you did too. Enjoy watching the broadcast after tomorrow too. So thanks, bud.
That was Scott Patton. I actually saw Neonism. I saw one of the Facebook posts that he is working with SimWrap Markets. Saw it for a metallic paint scheme that he has. I think that's what it was up there on SimWrap Market. I actually might buy that, but I'll go over the finishing order here now. Scott Patton first, second Rod Mitten third, Matt Rodilioso fourth, Michael Miltfelt sixth, Justin Blackburn fifth, Justin Blackburn sixth, Bill Paradise seventh, Patrick Blundell eighth, Wesley Holland ninth, Jack Watts 10th, Charlie Widener. I will not keep you all any longer, so I will go back to the starting soon screen, and hopefully I will see you all sometime soon.